Eastern Standard Time. I see we got a lot of people on the check and a lot of the regulars. Normally I give shout outs to the regulars, but we're going to jump right in and waste no time. I got my man, my good homie from Jersey, a legendary MC, and we're going to talk to him and get a little breakdown of his career. I've been meaning to do this for a minute. Everybody, please welcome my man, Chill Rob G, to the show.
There's two fingers. Peace.
Peace. So, first of all, how are you doing, my friend?
I feel great, man. I feel pretty good. Had another birthday not too long ago. Feel strong. Staying alive like the BJ.
That's right. Word. That's everybody's story.
Yes, sir.
So let's jump right in. First of all, I've always felt like your style was very unique. It was a combination of your voice and your flow and your vocabulary. And let's go back to your beginning. What was your early influences in hip hop? How did you get in the game?
Like most kids, you know what I mean, when we was young, the first rap record I heard was King Tim the Third, actually.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh man. Kenny, you're gonna be mad at me. My battery is running low. But I think we'll finish this. I think.
You want to plug it in?
Hold on, let me see where I'm at. 6%.
Oh,
give me a second.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hold
on, y'all. 6% is yeah, that's not going to do it. So let me as we wait for my man to come back, I'm going to give some quick shout outs. E Money, Emma Brown, Ice Cold Beverage was good. MMA Crossfire, FU2. I see all the regulars in here. Rosmel, Kenny was good. WYLA TV was good. Re Buffy was good. JT was good. DJ Thor was good. Afghanika is getting kind of hectic. Yeah, it's the new name I do not recognize. Welcome to the DJ Kenny Parker Show. I shout out MMA Crossfire. I see Dwight, what's up? Rod Justice, Hip Hop Peace. E Money Peace. David Scott was good. From the Key West, of course. Gregory Nettis. Yes, the regulars in the building. Mark G. First time I've joined the live, always sat on the replays. Repping London, UK. Shout out to London, UK. And I always say this is one of my favorite parts of town in the world to visit. Curtis 75 Black, what's popping? Are we good, Rob?
Yeah, I'm plugged in.
We are back with Chill Rob G. I am DJ Kenny Parker. This is the DJ Kenny Parker Show. Let's go. So you were saying that King Tim the Third was
Tim the first rap record. The first rap record.
Technically the first rap record.
The first one I heard. So, when I heard that, I went back to the block. I'm asking everybody if they heard it. Dudes is hyped. It's like, yeah, yo, that was kind of dope, blah, blah. And, that was that. We thought, Mm-hmm. But then, Sugar Hill Gang. Then, it was, what was it? Family Rap with Mike C and Tony Tone, Kool Mo D. So we realizing that these are records. They're starting to make these records. So let me see if I could do that. Let me see if I could rap. So then I started coming up, to the beat, y'all. Like everybody else. I didn't have much going. But you do that long enough, you get on the mic at a couple of block parties, a couple of basement parties, because that was always the jump off in Jersey. Jersey City. Somebody was always doing the party. DJs, we had records. It wasn't up to the scratching yet, you know what I mean? We wasn't really on it. But since I heard these, rappers, I was like, yo, let me see if I can get on and do some rhymes. So I would get on and do some of these, little corny little rhymes I had. And it just progressed to the point where I finally tried to make a song. The first song I wrote was something called I'm a Winner. and I went to my man's house. Rest in peace to my man Itchy. He, you know what I mean? He had equipment. He was one of those DJs, and he had a beat. He had a beat that he wanted me to rhyme on, so I did, and we did the joint. It was about 9 minutes long. I didn't know nothing about song structure. I was just rapping. But yeah, man, you know, after that, I was kind of hyped. I was kind of amped up. I was like, I'm trying to really do this. Then I was hearing more, you know, more polished records. You know what I mean? Run DMC came out. Cool J came out. And I was on it, man. Really, the way that I figured out I could do it was I was trying to make songs that sounded like, well, not sounded like their songs, but their song structure I was copying. So that's what taught me how to write a song. So, you know, that's how I figured out to go 16 bars, put an 8-bar hook, and then another 16 bars. And then maybe your bridge. Depends on who you're working with and what you're doing. And that's how it worked out, man. That's how it went.
So this is somewhere around 83, 84 when you really started to say, I can make a real record.
Yeah, 85, something like that. And I really was just doing it. I didn't know if I was going to send these songs out to a label and all of that. I was just doing it. I was really doing it for the, you know, the attention, you know, because you get to get on the stage at the party and then, you know, the chicks, you go up and yeah, baby, you know, whatever, like that, man. So that's all I was doing, man.
So you mentioned Jersey City. For those that don't know, you are a Jersey City native.
No doubt.
What was the scene like in Jersey City? Because for people that don't know, Jersey City is right across the water from New York City. It's literally right across. It's literally through the Holland Tunnel, 4 minutes.
4 minutes. You take the PATH train. It's 6 minutes. 6 minutes from Grove Street to World Trade Center.
So you're like 5 to 6 minutes between New York City and Jersey City. But it's really a different world, though. So what was the hip hop scene like in Jersey City when you were trying to make your mark? You're making your tapes. Uh-oh, I do believe we have lost. Did we lose Chill Rob G? Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we might have lost Rob G. Let's see if we can get him to re-sign in. Hold on, you guys.
Yeah.
I can hear you, but we can't see you.
Hold on, let me start the camera again.
Here we go.
Wait,
we're live, y'all. So whatever happens, we rock it.
Yeah, it's definitely live. Hold on, though. What the hell, though? Am I plugged in or not? Plugged in. It says charging. And the battery.
Like it was some Wi-Fi got discombobulated or something.
I don't know, but the battery is still dying. I think my joint might be broke.
Uh-oh. You have less than 6% right now?
Yeah, it went down to 2.
Oh, sheesh. So if we get cut off, maybe you have to find a way to plug in and then come back and then enter the chat.
Yeah, man. I mean, I apologize, man.
No problem. We rocking. So let's just talk until it cuts off, and then we'll reconnect.
It's plugged in. Like, why the hell are you cutting off? I even see the little. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. We rocking.
Okay.
That's odd that it says you're plugged in, but it's not charging. Let's just
rock
with it and see what happens. Well, then let's rock and see what happens.
It's going down. What the fuck? All right, so yeah.
Jersey City. I was saying, what was the vibe like in Jersey City with MCs coming up? And you're talking 85-ish.
So we was all on it, like whatever was happening in New York. You know what I mean? We was getting little doses of that. My man Chuck Luck had a job with the Daily News. He was delivering newspapers, and Chuck is one of those talkers, right? So Chuck would be in New York like 3 a.m. to maybe sometime around noon, riding around on the back of the Daily News truck. He's the guy throwing the papers out to the newsstands. He would ride up you know, they would go past the clubs. Chuck would jump off the truck, and now he's out there kicking it with Tito from Fearless, Dougie Fresh, whoever, right? So Chuck befriended these cats and got he was getting them to come back to Jersey City. He was getting tapes off of them. You know, the battle between Busy B and Kool Mo D. We got that big. Yo, all of that kind of business we was getting from Chuck. He was coming through. He was bringing these cats over. He brought the Force MCs when they were still the Force MCs. He brought them through. And it was on and popping, man. You know what I'm saying? We would go over there. We following with Chuck. We going with Chuck because Chuck know everybody. So we up in well, he took everybody to Tito's house. I didn't go there. But yeah, man, it was like that, man. We was just vibing, man. We was having a good time with it, plugging in wherever we could, man.
So what's your first big break that took you from trying to get on to maybe you were actually probably gonna get on?
The big break came from, okay, so like I said, I was running around to every party I could run around to, performing anytime I could. I got a reputation in Jersey City as, you know, this guy with the rhymes. I'm a rapper. And I was in a couple of crews. So two of the homies moved from Jersey City to Irvington, which is like the next town. If if Jersey had boroughs, then it would probably be like Jersey City, Newark, East Orange, Irvington, and maybe, you know, you could pick another town in a close round area. But they're all really close together. So these dudes moved out to Irvington. In Irvington, New Jersey, they met Mark the 45 King. At this point, Mark was already getting love from Red Alert with the 45 King special.
Right.
He was like, oh, that's that dude? They was like, yeah, Rob, come through. And you know what I mean? Kick it, man. You know what I mean? Let's see what the vibe is like. So I went over. We're in the 45 King basement. And, you know, the cypher got going. And at that point, I was pretty good with freestyling. I was pretty good with going off the top of my head. I had this rap partner who never wrote anything down. Never. And he could go for hours. So I learned from him how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was doing. I was in the King's basement. You know, we was in there for, you know, a couple of rounds, everybody getting their joints off. After I ran out of the stuff that I had written, I just kept going. I didn't have to stop. You know what I mean? We could do this. And after that, Mark called me up. He got my number from Lati, and he was like, yo, man, you know, some of that stuff was pretty dope. I think you might be ready to make a record. I can't really do it. I can't do more.
You sound kind of like her, yeah.
You might be ready to make a record. So I was like, yeah, I think so too, man. What's up? So he said, look, you gotta get a song together. You know, you gotta be serious and it gotta be dope. And we could record in the studio. So it was Vaughn Mason. Vaughn Mason had a studio in the house that Mark was staying at. Vaughn Mason from Roll Bounce.
Yeah, Bounce Rock Roll Skate.
That Vaughn
huge
Mason
record.
He had a studio in the basement of the crib, and he would let us get in there for $30 an hour. So I had my little $30. Mark had $30. Boom, we went in there. We knocked out 2 records. It was Dope Rhymes and I'm Chillin'. So we did that. We gave those to Red Alert, and Mark was like, look, don't tell nobody that Red is going to play your shit. I was like, all right, I ain't going to say nothing. I wanted to say something. I'm so hyped, but I didn't say nothing because Mark said don't talk about it. So I didn't say nothing. But it's a good thing I didn't say nothing because the week that we gave him the stuff, he didn't play it. He didn't play it that Saturday. So I was like, oh, man, what the fuck happened? What's going on with Red? I wasn't mad, but, you know, like, I'm like, oh, shucks. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm walking around looking at my shoes all day. This dude didn't play my record, man. The next weekend, I didn't talk about it. I mean, I told dudes that I made songs, but I didn't tell them, yeah, we gave it to Red Alert and all of that. But the next weekend, I'm just, you know, randomly walking down the block and a car went by and they had my song playing in the car. Oh, I was like, yo.
What is that like? Can you tell us what, because I talked to Red Alert a couple of weeks ago and I was telling him how for me and for us, being on the Red Alert show was the pinnacle of rap. being on his show was as big as it could possibly be.
Come on, man.
So now, unexpectedly, you're walking down the street and you hear your song playing on Red Alert. What is that like for you?
Bro, I don't know. I think I started floating. I don't know. Yo. So I heard the song. First, I was like, was that it? Am I hearing it in my head? It was it. That was it. And because another car went by going the other way. Because, you know, Red Alert was on the radio.
Right.
Everybody's listening.
Right.
So, you know, car goes this way, another car goes this way. That is definitely me. I'm on the radio. So I had to go to the spot. You know, the spot, you know, they was doing some illicit things in the spot.
Right.
But everybody was there. So I ran up to the basketball court. I was like, yo, what y'all listening to? Turn the radio on, because they had a tape playing. Turn it on. So they turned on Red Alert, and it's near the end of the song. Like, the record is going off, right? So they caught the song at the end. I'm like, yo, that's me. Yo, I'm wondering. I'm hype.
Did they believe you?
Radio. I mean, they knew it was me. They knew, because, you know, but they didn't.
They knew you, right?
So, you know, it was cool, man. It was cool. I was super hype. Couldn't tell me nothing after that. All right?
So you mentioned Lati. Shout out to my man Lati. Do you remember like who was in the basement with you with 45 King? Was it the Flavor Unit yet?
It wasn't the Flavor Unit yet. No, it was just, I think Apache and Tawheed, they was in a crew because they got connected with Flash and them somehow. So they was in a crew calling themselves the Casanovas. That Apache is Lati's brother. Came out with Gangsta Bitch and a whole bunch of other records.
Right. Shout out to Rest in Peace Apache.
Rest in Peace Apache. Lati hadn't even done, I don't know if he did No Tricks yet and Brainstorm, but Lati had a couple of records that he was yet to do. What did he do them yet? Man, listen, we're going back a little bit, but you know, so I can tell you who was in there. It was Lati, Apache, Tawheed. I don't think my man Double J was there yet. Couple other heads that I didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we were just down there vibing, man. You know what the vibes is like. We was down there, you know, drinking and puffing out
everything.
Bit. And the beats just kept going because Mark got all of these beats.
So he was just playing beats and y'all just jumping on whatever he played?
We was just rhyming whatever he played. No mics. We just rhyming, right? You know what I mean? Mics. Yeah, like the cypher was that crazy because we was all together in the room. So yeah, man. Yep, that's how it started.
So
that's how it started.
Red Alert plays your record. You're now in the big time, really.
Yeah, you know what? If Red Alert played my record, then Lati definitely already had his record out. Which one? This Cut's Got Flavor was already out.
Oh, This Cut's Got Flavor was banging. Shout out to that was a big one.
Yeah.
So now you're thinking, now is your mind thinking business? Like I should get a deal, or where's your head going now?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't sure which way to go with it. I mean, we had the record on air. I know I want to do this, and now I'm an artist with records on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to come correct if y'all talking to Rob. You know what I mean? But what happened next, I didn't plan at all. Stu Fine called Red Alert about the artist, the unsigned hype that he played. Who was that? So Red called me. He got my number from Mark, called me up and said, yo, got this dude, you know, he's record exec. He want to talk to you about some business. Can I pass your number? I said, yeah, sure. Get my number. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking this is coming from Red. This must be the way to go, man. You know what I mean? This is God is sending the, you know what I mean? This is the direction that I'm supposed to travel.
Right.
So I met with Stu Fine, gave me a contract. You know, I gave that contract to my man's. Dude was a law student, knowing not too much about entertainment law, but he was a law student for real.
Right.
He looked at the contract and he guaranteed to me, yeah, this is a binding agreement between two parties. If you sign this, you will be in a record deal. And that's all I heard. I'll be in a record deal.
And
So,
this is, what year is this? 88, 89?
nah, this is 86, 87.
Oh, this is still early. Okay.
Yeah, this is 86, 87.
Oh.
And maybe near that. Yeah, it's 87. Because I went in the studio now and I did Dope Rhymes and Chillin', and Red played both of those. I'm still hype.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things are starting to move. And
Mm-hmm.
I went back in the studio and I did Quarters in Session and Let the Words Flow. And then this dude named Funkenklein was doing a tour in Europe.
Yeah, he was the big promoter.
He was a big promoter. Rest in peace to David Klein. Cool dude. He had a brace on his leg, so he had a permanent gangster limp. But he's a cool dude, man. So Funk, actually what happened, De La Soul was supposed to go on the road. They couldn't make it. I don't know what their obligations was. They couldn't make it. So I got to go fill in. So I'm on the road, me, Latifah, the Jungle Brothers, and True Mathematics.
So you're talking 89 now.
This is 88.
88, okay.
This is 88.
Okay.
So I'm on the road, you know what I mean? And my very first show, and I know these people don't know me. We're in Denmark. There's no way they know me.
Right.
My name gets announced. They start screaming. I come out on stage and they start banging on the stage. They're throwing drinks in the air. They're yelling and hollering. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening right now? Play the record. So they started playing the record. These dudes is losing their mind. They gave me all of that energy. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And this is my first show, bro. Ever. This is my first performance with a record. So I never got that crowd again. Not that.
Right.
That was some Michael Jackson shit.
So Stu Fine, for those that don't know, was the president or owner of Wild Pitch Records.
Stu Fine owned Wild Pitch Records. The first time I met Stu Fine, it was in his living room. He didn't even have an office.
Wow. Because Wild Pitch was you were one of the early signees, I would imagine.
I was like the third act that he signed. He signed some kid. That kid wasn't really, you know. And then he signed Lati, and then he signed me.
So now the flavor unit is starting to get more formed now at this point. Because you mentioned Latifah, shout out to the queen. She comes along. Do you remember her coming into the fold?
Latifah was already there. So there was a guy named Ramsey, right? Ramsey was one of these idea guys, right? Ramsey wants to do parties. He wants to do fashion shows. He wants to do neighborhood events and for the kids and all of that. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to bring us in as entertainment if he needed it. Mm-hmm. So he would bring in, you know, Latifah to come in and do some songs. She was really good with the reggae. You know what I mean? She would do that, you know, a little chant, little things. So he would bring her in, Lati. But it went from, I think that was Ram Enterprises. That was the name of that. Mm-hmm. And it went from that to one of those freestyle sessions that we had at Mark's crib. Like the next day, Apache and Lati came in and said, yo, we're going to call ourselves the Flavor Unit from now on. It was just them, just Apache and Lati. And so I think me, Lakim was there.
Lakim Shabazz.
Lakim was there. Double J was there. We was like, yo, the Flavor Unit, that sounds kind of dope, man. Yo, we why gotta be just y'all? You know what I'm saying? Why is it just y'all? So we could all be in the Flavor Unit, man. It's the Flavor Unit right here, man. Everybody in here, man. Latifah was in there. So yeah, boom, that was that. It happened that easy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So obviously your record is Wild Pitch, I guess, did a good job getting your record out to Europe and all these places because they knew the music or whatever. What do you think was your first big breakthrough song?
At that time, it was easily.
Uh-oh, did we lose you? Rob, can you hear us? Uh-oh, we have a freeze, y'all. I don't know if it's I don't know if we lost him, or let's give it a second. Looks like, I don't know if we lost him. Let me try to bring him in and bring him back. I think we might have lost Rob G, y'all. Let's see if Rob G will check back in. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's try this. Yeah, we lost Rob G, y'all, for a second. So we're going to give it a second and see if Rob G can fix his technical difficulties and come back in. In the meantime, thank you all you guys for checking in. This is the DJ Kenny Parker Show. We do this each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to all the regulars and shout out to the people who are just checking in for the first time. We got Rob G back.
So you know what? I just switched to my phone, man. Fuck it. I don't know what's going on with the computer, man.
Cool, whatever. You know what? We rocking. We live. We rocking. Thank you. We really appreciate you coming on. So the question I was asking was, at that time, what was the record that you felt broke through for you?
It had to be Quarters in Session at that point. I didn't really have nothing. You know what I mean? Quarters in Session and Let the Words Flow.
And 45 King was at that point. He was, he doesn't get mentioned enough.
I agree.
I always mention him on this channel as one of my favorite producers of all time. But he was juggling a lot of different groups at the time, and we're giving everybody top-notch production. Quarters in Session with the flutes was ridiculous. And
I was so happy when I heard that beat. I was like, that's me.
Oh, he gave you that beat and said, this is your beat?
Yeah. He just pulled it up at the studio when we was already going in to record. I always, dealing with Mark, there's so many beats that people never heard. That was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine.
You know what I mean? There was what is that documentary when Jay-Z was in the studio with Timbaland, and he was just like, no. A lot of that stuff was.
Yeah, I remember that. Right? I remember that. Yeah.
That's how it was with Mark, man. A lot of them tracks was like, yo. So I wasn't worried about it. I knew I was going in the studio with the 45 King. I was not concerned. Let's go.
Off subject real quick. When was the first time you heard 900 Number?
Right after he did it. I think I came by the crib. I don't know if it was the day he did it or the very next day. Because we was always in and out of Mark's crib.
Right.
And, Mark, when he had something hot, he loved to just bust it on you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I walked through the door, and he like, yo, Rob. Yo.
That must have blew that head off.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that.
Just check this out. Bang!
Yeah. No warning, nothing. He did the same thing with matter of fact, he was more sneaky with not Stan, with the Jay-Z joint, with the
Hard Knock Life?
Me and Lati was at his crib. We sitting down there, we drinking, we laughing. He said, yo, I'll be right back. And he went upstairs to change the music. And then he just threw that on. We was like, yo, let us get that, man. Let us run to that. He's like, no, I don't know. I think I might have, Mark, I might have somebody going on this. I'm not sure yet. I'll let y'all know. All right. Let us know, B. Let us know, man. You should let us record on it right now, just in case, man.
Word, just in case this person doesn't show up.
Yeah. Turns out, he gave it to Kid Capri, and Kid Capri was kind of not shopping it, but kind of shopping it, and that's how that went.
And the next thing you know is history. Hove heard it, and it was history.
Yeah, man.
So what was your first video? Was there a video to Quarters in Session?
Was there a video of the Quarters in Session? Yes.
Because I know that record so well, I feel like in my mind, I feel it's a video, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that was the video. In fact, I did that video and people was like, you shouldn't have did a video. You should have did a video to one of the other joints because Quarters in Session is already, dope enough. Maybe you should have hyped up a different song.
Oh, yeah. Back then, you were trying to sell the whole album. It's not
right.
Like so single driven as it is today.
Right. I was like, hey, man, I did what I did, man. It's over.
And it was dope. So let's jump up a little bit to what I consider one of the biggest crimes in hip hop history, in my opinion. One of them, right at the top. Can you talk about the song "The Power"? How you heard the song and how that situation unfolded?
So that was crazy. That was I was on tour with the Jungle Brothers Latifah in Europe. We was like 3 weeks out there. So I came back off of that tour. This is maybe a month later. The Jungle Brothers was so huge out there, they was back in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a random phone call from Africa, Baby Bam. Called me up. He's like, yo, Rob, we out here in Germany and we did a show last night. And it was this dude on stage and he was doing your song, bro. He's lip syncing your vocals. So I'm like, it's a hot song, of course, it's a big deal. He's like, nah, B. They remixed it, they changed it. This dude is on stage performing like it was him, like that was his song. I'm like, oh, word? Cause first I'm thinking he talking like karaoke or whatever, he just
right.
Whatever. He like, nah, they tried to jack you. So I was like, okay, let me see what's up. So I called up Wild Pitch. I think this was like a Friday. So I called up Wild Pitch. It was late in the day. They was going home, whatever. Stu wasn't in the office. That Monday, I was there at 9:00, right? 9:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They got a copy of the record, okay? Sitting like right in the lobby. When you come in the office, the record is leaning up against the wall. I look over, and my man's was like, yeah, so this was, somebody sent this record up, and, I had a note on it, anonymous. They showed me the note from Anonymous saying, hey, Stu, check this out. I don't know who wrote that note. I don't know what's going on right now. Mm-hmm. But here's a finished product with some nice, crazy artwork. Some dude is on it, transforming. I've got the power. And he's changing from a regular dude to some big, crazy looking dude. And so they played it. It was a record player in the office. They played the record. And that's me. That's Let the Words Flow remixed into some poppy kind of club joint. Mm-hmm. This is a dance record. This is not really what my album sounded like.
Right.
But this got a lot of good energy. It ain't bad. You know what I mean? I wasn't mad at the record. Mm-hmm. But what the fuck is going on, man? Where did this come from?
Right.
Who put this shit out? What is this artwork? Who's Areola Records? Right? I got mad questions.
Right. As you should.
Stu Fine was like, well, you know what? What we can do, you're our artist. You're my artist. That's how he claimed it. Yeah, I'm his artist. Mm-hmm. So we can just release this. We can put this out. I said, well, yeah, let's put it out. That's me. What the fuck you mean? Let's go. It's basically a remix to Let the Words Flow, right? Let's go. Right. Put it out. So we put the song out. It goes crazy. I saw Red Alert maybe a day later. He already heard it. He's like, yo, I heard you got this record that's kind of... I'm like, how the fuck you know? Where'd you get it? How do people find this shit out? But he already knew. So the record goes crazy. We about... Let's fast forward maybe 3 months. It's getting daytime airplay. I'm starting to get shows now. I'm getting a call from Cara Lewis. I got to go over to William Morris agency. It's a big agency.
Right.
They got talent over William Morris.
Yes.
So I'm in there, I'm getting booked. And All of a sudden, I'm leaving the office and I hear my song, only there's somebody else rapping. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
You just get hit. You just get hit with craziness.
Yeah, man, it's just bananas, man. So I go back up to Wild Pitch. I tell them what I'm hearing, right? Somebody else is doing the song. Like, what's happening? Listen, we're gonna take care of it. Don't worry about it. We'll handle this. Because I'm signed to Wild Pitch, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm his artist, he said. So I go home, but now I'm extremely busy. I got to get dressed that night and go I'm doing shows like crazy. I'm an artist, I'm a performer, but I was pretty busy, Kenny. But I was everywhere, bro.
That was one of the biggest songs in the country.
I was running around a lot, man. I remember one weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I probably did 8 shows, 2 shows a night. It was crazy. I'm here, I'm upstate, I get on the plane, I'm over there, I'm there, I get back on the plane. It was crazy. I remember going to I hadn't slept. Like one night I hadn't even slept. So you know what it is? Like I couldn't really focus attention on fighting these cats stealing my record because I'm running around working.
Right, right.
And something else that my father pointed out to me kind of recently. I never really had a personal manager. I never had one guy who was my advocate to deal with Wild Pitch, to deal with the power, foolishness.
Right.
I never had that. It was just me. So yeah, that would have helped. It would have helped if I had a manager.
Because while you were out getting the money, somebody could have been behind the scenes taking care of the
somebody could have been handling something.
And you didn't have the lawyer. You said your lawyer was your friend, the law student.
So now so now I moved past that. Now that we beefing, I actually got a lawyer. So respect to Shakim. I said I didn't have a manager. Shakim was there looking out. We didn't have a signed contract. And excuse me, his loyalty was really to Latifah.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. It worked out great for them.
Shakim is, for those that don't know, is Latifah's manager and was the manager of Flavor Unit.
Right.
Right.
And he was really looking out for all of us at that point. He was looking out for me. He had Lakim Shabazz with some records. Latifah was doing her thing. Everybody was running around. But I happened to have a special need at this point, and I didn't have anybody specially paying attention to it. So
I do remember that they reissued your album with the Power Jam. I think, was it called the Power Jam?
The Power Jam. Then they got some chick to come in and replace Jocelyn Brown. It was terrible.
I remember because that record kept evolving, I guess, as the lawsuits kept coming.
Yeah, it was so crazy, bro.
So they took your album, they added this song, and I remember that your album was moving up the charts because I used to look at Billboard a lot because I was looking at a lot of Boogie Down Productions. I was amazed that my brother was even doing. I couldn't even believe my brother was a rapper at this point, and like he was really in like the real magazine.
No, he's one of the reasons I was doing it. Definitely.
We'll double back on that in a sec.
Yeah.
So I was looking in Billboard at rap albums that were on the big charts, and I remember seeing your album with a bullet. I remember it was like 180 something one week, and then it was like 60. I remember it jumped it jumped crazy. So your whole project was on fire, and then you guys shot a video for the Power.
We shot a video in Brooklyn for the Power. We was in some abandoned warehouse or whatever. I don't even think we were supposed to be in there, but we in this abandoned warehouse, had a clock tower. We went up there on the roof, no permits. It was crazy.
That video was dope, by the way.
Yeah, man. It was cool. And by the way, I know a lot of people don't realize it, but now I can't remember her name. The actress in Boucher Wright, who was in Blade and she was in Sybil Brand or whatever other movie. And Boucher Wright, that was her first big performance. She was in The Power, performing as Jocelyn Brown. No, she can't sing. No, that wasn't her on the record, but she was in the video doing "I Got the Power." Yeah.
So now this group, these guys in Germany decide they're gonna make a group, I guess, called Snap, right?
I don't think it was them. I think the record got really big. I'm running around performing it.
Right.
Somebody at Arista Records was a little pissed that I took their stolen product and used it. So they want to reclaim their stolen product. You can't steal what we stole from you. We're stealing it again. So they put Snap together. They got this guy, Turbo B. They got a group together, and boom, this is now Snap. We did it in the Snap, okay? And we're gonna go out and we're gonna steal your shit again, and we're gonna go out, we're gonna perform. And that's what happened. These dudes is out here still doing The Power now.
Right. Still to this day. If I recall, this guy, Turbo B, he used your same vocal cadence and everything. He tried to sound exactly like you.
He did what he could to stick to the original formula.
But they kept, it's getting kind of hectic. In the first iteration of this song. Yes. So they tried to remove you, but they couldn't remove that part because it was so catchy.
It was key to the record. It's getting kind of hectic. People were calling the song "It's Getting Kind of Hectic" at one point.
Right.
So about 6 months in, almost a year in, they get I don't know who they got to go in and change that to "It's Getting Kind of Heavy."
Yeah, I remember some girl was singing, "It's getting kind of heavy. It's getting kind of heavy.
It's getting kind of heavy." Really?
That's like a year. You said like 6 months, a year in. The record is still huge.
Yeah. That song was crazy. It was just everywhere. I don't know what was driving it. I don't know if it was the controversy. I don't think the controversy was that. I think it was just really catchy. It just happened.
And I do believe even the Snap version went platinum.
Right.
Even after all of that,
right?
They still pumped that out and it went platinum. And
Arista got a lot of money behind them, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't hard. I don't know if they had to do payola, but they could have. Hey, play this for another couple of months.
Compare the scale of Wild Pitch versus Arista.
Exactly, bro.
Couldn't really compete on that level.
Nah.
And what, real quick, what people may not realize is that sample, the track was from Mantronics. Mantronics had like a 5-minute record of him doing all of these breaks. And one little piece went dan, and then the beat. And
those bells too. Those bells too was Mantronics. Ding, 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 ding.
Whatever. Yep. They took that from Mantronics. That record was just a complete thievery. They took a piece of Mantronics, took your vocal. It was a remix. It was a
remix. Jocelyn Brown from the song "Love's Gonna Get You." She just starts off the second verse with "I got the power."
Yeah. We used that same record for "Love's Gonna Get You." Love's gonna
right. Oh yeah, that's the same record.
That's the same record. Another piece of that record.
Okay.
And funny story, if I recall real quick, is that Jocelyn Brown sued because back then there was no real sample clearance. And that's another reason, like the music laws were so murky as to who could sample what and what. There weren't a lot of laws, but I remember that, if I recall, BDP got sued for using "Love's Gonna Get You, Baby," and that girl got a chunk of money from that, if I recall correctly.
Really?
Yes. And the funny thing is that Criss Cross sampled "Love's Gonna Get You" on one of their songs, and that album sold 4 million. And I remember Jive sued Criss Cross and got something like 80 grand for using Love's Gonna Get You. And then Jocelyn Brown came and took the whole 80 grand from Jive. So, that's mine. So it was like, thank you very much, Jive, for doing that work for us for Christmas.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll take all of that.
Right.
So yeah, that's a quick BDP story. But yeah, so after this, did you have another single after The Power?
I think that was that.
That was the end of the album.
That's all, folks, man. Because that shit wore me out, Kenny. I'm running around. I'm fighting with these people, over The Power. The controversy. I mean, not for nothing. I'm a human being. I hear all of the comments. It was wild for a minute, man. It was on TV. Somebody was saying that the snap version was better, which was super disheartening. Like, how could you say that?
I agree.
So you know what? And then not for nothing, man. Like around me. So my brother had died. My brother passed away. I had a close friend, my neighbor, who was like my best friend across the street. He died. My cousin died. All of that happened in like 2 months. Unrelated incidents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I got the power being stolen. My people are dying. Let me take a breath. All right. So I think I ran around till maybe all of that power nonsense went on. Started in like 90. I was on the road till a good 94, 95. Then I was like, okay, let me chill. I got to hold on a minute. I want to write some new stuff. Just let me just relax for a minute. I got to clear my fucking head. So that shit turned into like 10 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. I was like, I just had no interest in going back into that foolishness. It was too crazy, bro.
Most people would think, most record companies would be putting a lot of pressure on you to come back with something like another Power 1990 or, something like that.
Wild Pitch didn't know anything about pressure, bro, because the contract that they came at me with, somebody, trying to work at a fast food spot might be like, okay, well, let me see if I can get some other options. Thank you anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay? A contract like that, bro.
That bad, yes.
And when we're sitting there talking about it, the fucking song is on the radio. Okay? It's playing right now on the radio, and you're really trying to hand me. It was so disrespectful. So that's another thing that made it easy. I hated the label. I felt like they didn't give a fuck about me, and I didn't want to be bothered with that no more. So yeah, all right. Let me just chill.
So you tried to renegotiate, or you were negotiating while the record was out? Because you already had an album deal, right?
I had an album deal. I think it was. I can't really remember the terms of that contract. Mm-hmm. I think I was supposed to continue with them with a couple of more records, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I had no interest in doing it. Like, come on, man. I'm not your freaking slave, bro. I'm not going to just be giving you music for you to go eat, and then I get to go get played. I'm the artist on your label. You can't protect me. Anybody could come along and take this song.
Yeah, I can see your point.
I have no interest in doing this shit again. No. So, I moved along. And again, I didn't have a manager. I didn't have anybody, to go in and say, hey, Stu, blah, 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 or whatever. Right. And I wasn't gangster like that. I'm not going to go shoot this dude.
Right.
I had the thought, but it's not me, man. I ain't shot nobody yet, man. I think I'll be all right.
You'll be all right, man. So you left the business. So you just decided, I'm not making any more records. I'm just going to do shows, and just when it's over, it's over.
More or less. But because I'm me, I'm still writing songs. I'm still writing rhymes. You know what I mean? I still, when I roll up and the cypher is on, I still get in the cypher. I got new shit.
I was gonna say,
when you coming out with the new records, then when you pressing the new record,
you dropped the project like maybe 10 years after that. I can't remember. You dropped a project in maybe what year was that? Because you came with a second album.
So that album, I end up at different people's houses recording songs because I can't stop doing it. So I got a song over here with this guy. I got 3 songs over here with this guy. Got a couple of songs over here. I ran into this guy who was one of the first distributors for Wild Pitch. His name was Jeff Collins. Little English dude, right?
We work with, yeah.
So Jeff Collins said, Rob, listen, you can't just give up your career. You've got an established name. People go all their lives and never get the kind of, he gassed me up. Got to get back on the horse. Give me whatever you got, and let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can work something out. So I got all of these different songs, different times over like a 10-year span, right? Gave them to Jeff. I figured we could re-record some of them and make a cohesive project out of it.
Right.
Make one record. Jeff was like, no, we're just going to put these all together and put it out. I was like, nah, Jeff, this shit sound crazy like that. So at that point, I had already recorded maybe 3 or 4 new songs with Jeff, thinking that, okay, I'm going to go re-record some of this other stuff. Or, you know what I mean? Try to work something out. But I don't know if it was greed or just fucking crazy. When you're not an artist, you don't really care like that.
Right.
So Jeff was like, no, we're going to put this out like this. So he just takes the jumble of songs, boom, put them out. We're going to call it Black Gold. That was his name. I didn't even name it. So I'm like, yo, Jeff, listen, I can't work like this. This is not the way it's going down, bro. This is one of the reasons I left the business, because I didn't have control over my product. I don't want to do it like this. So that shit was over before it even started. Wow. Know what I mean? But now Black Gold is out in the world. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Fucking crazy business, bro.
So the business really discouraged you. I mean, I really appreciate you too, Rob, for being so candid with us. This is Chill Rob G, y'all. This is the DJ Kenny Parker Show. We're chilling with Chill Rob G. We do this every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, I really appreciate you, Rob, being so candid, because one of the themes I have on this show is about how cutthroat the music business really is, and that
man.
You see, it's like an illusion. What you see is not what it is. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, what you're seeing is the polished version. You're seeing the chick after all the makeup is on. You didn't see it before you know. Right. You know what I mean?
That's a great
analogy.
You didn't see. So let's double back a little bit. You talked about KRS. Who are some of the guys that you looked at as influences early in your game? Like, you patterned, or these were the guys that you aspired to be?
Listen, let's stick with KRS. When that shit came out, I could see there was a new thing fucking happening. Shit changed.
Yeah, it did.
Because this dude was the original intelligent gangster. Yeah. Okay? This was a hood who could figure out how to murder you, and you would never know who the fuck did it.
Right,
you know
right.
That shit was dope on the rope. I was like, yo, man. So I tried to write some songs to try to sound like KRS-ONE. Didn't really get there. But I knew that from listening to him, I knew that I would be okay if I didn't have to what am I trying to say? Like, I could just be Chill Rob G and just put my stuff out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Chris didn't sound like he was trying to be like anybody else. It was so different. The style was incredible. Like, the way he was, the pauses and the different stuff he was doing with the vocals, it was really impressive to a cat like me. So I was like, yeah, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and try to do me.
Because you had conscious themes within your music, within your rhymes. You were definitely talking about something, which
that's something else that I probably got from listening to KRS-ONE. You know what I mean? Him, not so much Rakim. Rakim was another rapper who I think kind of turned the knob a little bit. Like, hold on, things are different.
Right.
I was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So But yes, KRS-ONE was the first one that really, really, you know, put a finger on that consciousness button and made you think about what is happening right in front of you right now on your block. That's the type of shit it sounded like he was talking about.
What is your opinion on ghostwriting? You know, these past few years, months, especially with Drake, this has come up a lot. The ghostwriting controversy, even though I feel like it's been going on since day one in hip hop, since Rapper's Delight. But what are your opinion on ghostwriting? First of all, would you use a ghostwriter? Have you used a ghostwriter?
I have not used a ghostwriter because I take pride in creating my own shit. I like it when people come to talk to me about my records, be like, yo, that was dope, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote it. You know what I mean? Yes, those were my ideas. That was my thought, my delivery. All of that was me. And thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? And so it makes me take more care and be more, you know, conscious of what I'm doing when I'm writing these songs. The Drake thing forced me to just accept the fact that this truly is the entertainment business. And what I just said about seeing the chick after all the makeup is on, he's a perfect example of that. Okay. He's a great actor. And he's an excellent acting. He does a great Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the character that he's playing.
Right.
He's great at it. And his delivery is pretty slick.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Drake. I'm not mad because the delivery is cool. And you know, would I feel better about him if he wrote his own shit? Yes, I would respect him differently.
Well,
but now, like I said, he's a great actor.
Some of it. I believe he writes some of it. And
he
we're
having
a debate on this channel about what percent is acceptable. Like we had a whole night one night about like what percent is acceptable for you to really say you're a top-notch MC. Is it you wrote 95? Is it 90?
Well, yeah, we'll see, yeah. So no, he can't be the best rapper because he doesn't write his shit. So he's definitely not in that category.
Right.
Okay, at all.
Right.
But he's a good performer. He's a really good, he's like a Hammer.
Right.
Hammer was a good performer.
Right.
And that's where that's at. And you know, I'm old, man. I'm from the you can't be biting nobody's lyrics era. That would get you punched in the face.
Most of the people on this channel are from that same era.
So nah. Bro.
Have you ever ghost written for somebody else?
I wrote some stuff for some people, yeah. I wrote some stuff.
That we heard?
Yes, absolutely. Nah, man, come on.
Okay, I would say if you don't want to elaborate,
yeah, no, I wrote some stuff. Definitely wrote some stuff.
Was it Flavor Unit stuff?
Some of it was Flavor Unit stuff. Yes.
Wow, I'm gonna leave that there, but that's big. That's a big. Like I said, I appreciate you being candid. Have you, just doubling back one more thing? Have you ever met Turbo B? I was just thinking about that. Have you ever run into?
And so did a lot of shows. I met Cara Lewis twice. First time I met her, it was a thrill because Rakim made her famous. Right. So now I'm in the office talking to her. She told me she was an artist and blah, blah, blah. You know, cool. All right, nice to meet you, Cara. Bye. I hadn't seen her again. I didn't expect to ever see her again. But one day she booked me in Florida, in Miami, and she asked me to come up to the office for the first time. Oh, for the second time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, come up to the office. So I go over. We're sitting there, we're talking. She wants to know how things are going, you know, and the bookings. And I did have an incident at a show. So I thought that's really what she wanted to talk about. But what she was really doing was telling me that the venue that she booked me at in Miami was on the same weekend and maybe 2 blocks away from a venue that Turbo B was playing the night before.
Wow.
So, word? Yeah, so that's how that was going. I was like, oh, wow. But another thing, that's how popular this fucking song is. This dude is playing the song on like a Friday. Here I come on Saturday again. We're both doing sold out shows. Crazy. This fucking record. So Yeah, I get to Miami. She's like, Rob, please, no trouble. Come on, you got your future to consider. I know that you've got some feelings. She's worried. I'm gonna go do something.
Right.
I wasn't gonna go do nothing. But now that you told me that the dude is out here, I gotta go look for him. I gotta go find this dude. Maybe I'll do something. I don't know. So we found out what hotel he was in. I called around because he had to be in the area. There's only 4 hotels out here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling around. I'm asking Turbo B. I knew his name. I think it's Deron. I knew his name back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking for his real government, and I'm asking for Turbo B. I'm asking for the snap. I'm calling these hotels. Nobody's giving it up. Nobody's saying, yeah, we have them. So I was like, all right. Okay, fine. I go to the club. We do our show. Show's pretty lit. It's after hours now. So we're in another venue. We're in another club. This just happens to be some late night spot. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of empty in here. So I'm up on the balcony, and it's almost 3 o'clock, whatever it is. And we're about to leave. I'm like, yo, man, let's just bounce, And I look down over the balcony, and that motherfucker is standing down there on the dance floor. Oh, I said, bro, that's fucking Turbo B. Let's go downstairs. So we rushed downstairs. I got me. I got Stranger.
Shout out to Stranger D.
My DJ Stranger. So me and Stranger is both like 6 footers, a little bit taller, mm-hmm. Right? I got my man Ramsey. Ramsey's not that big. Actually, it was just us 3. So we go down there, and Turbo is in there, and he's with this kid who was a bodyguard. I can't remember his name, but I knew him. I was cool. I actually booked him for a couple of spots. So mm-hmm. I was cool with him. So when Turbo saw me walking up, he immediately started talking to the bodyguard. I don't know what the fuck he said. So we get over, and he like, hey, Rob, what's up, man? I was like, yo, what's good? I'm talking to the bodyguard. Yo, what's good, man? I'm shaking his hand. I'm like, yo, I just want to holler at you, man. I ain't gonna do nothing. I just want to talk to your boy. We in the club, though. It's loud in here. So I'm like, yo, bro, you know me and you got to have a conversation. Let's go outside. I didn't know how he was going to react to that, but he was cool. I was like, come on, man. I just want to talk to you, bro. We got to have a conversation. Right. So he's like, all right, cool. So me, him, the bodyguard, everybody go outside. So I tell his bodyguard, yo, fall back, chill, man. Nothing's going to happen. I really didn't, and to be honest with you, I didn't want to fight this guy. I didn't want to, because what the fuck? I need to know what the fuck's going on in your head, man. What's happening? So we walk up the block a little bit, just me and him. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on with you, man? How are you doing this record? Like, what's going on? So he immediately starts telling me how he doesn't have a deal with Arista. There's nothing signed. He was in the military. Somebody told him that I was on the song, and then I decided I didn't want to work with Arista anymore, and they needed a replacement artist, and I was fine with it. I just decided I didn't want to be part of it anymore. And so they told him that he could fill in, and it's no big deal because this song is going to happen, and I declined.
Damn.
I'm like, wow, word? You ain't got no deal, bro? He had nothing. He got no signed contract.
He's getting jerked too.
He's getting jerked for, man, because he ain't got nothing, man. He's out here doing these shows, and that's all he got. That's all he got. And I'm like, man, they're using you to fuck my shit up, man. You really are fucking my shit up, B. And my man Ramsey started creeping up behind him.
Oh.
I'm like, Ramsey, chill. Because I saw it happen. I saw it in my mind. Ramsey had a crutch in his hand. I don't know where he got the crutch from. He had a crutch in his hand. So Ramsey hits him with the crutch. I dive in with an elbow. Next thing you know, we stomping this dude out. Right. They're going to call the police. They're going to find me somewhere. I'm going to court now. All this bullshit. This fucking idiot. And Wild Pitch is still going to eat. Not Wild Pitch. Arista. They're still going to eat.
Right.
So imagine him out does nothing for me, man.
So how did y'all leave it?
I just walked away and left this nigga, man. He was still talking. He was talking about, I don't know what he said. I think he said maybe we could work together on some shit or something. He got beef with them too, and blah, 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 blah. I'm looking at this nigga like, yeah, okay, man, thanks, bro. And I just walked away. Just left from there talking.
Do you ever think how different your life would be if there was
If I was the only one,
if you was the only one?
it might have been a lot different. I would have been a lot more in demand. Like, I would have been the only one booking shows that weekend. I could charge more money.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows how many shows he's done since. Like, at the time I just said, fuck it, he kept going. Because he's a whore, okay?
Yeah, he get the. I mean, he's trying to get every penny.
He's trying to get every penny. He's the $2 whore, which is bringing my shit down. Maybe I should have shot him.
$2.
I don't know, man. I just, hey, man, you know what happened? Nothing. I didn't shoot him, and here we are today.
I that's a great thing at the end.
I believe so too. I believe so because it's not in my nature. It's not who I am. I mean,
yeah. So let me ask this: what? Oh, two things. Two more things. We're at an hour, y'all. We usually do like an hour. We're at an hour right now. We're just talking with the legendary Chill Rob G. This is the DJ Kenny Parker Show. I just want to ask you a couple more things real quick on this topic. How did you get out of the Wild Pitch contract? You just let it dissolve?
Well, according to Stu Fine, it was in perpetuity, meaning, forever and ever and ever and ever until the sun burns out. So I went to him at one point and was like, look, man, I'm never going to record with your label again. All you're doing is just, destroying whatever could be for my career. If you're a human being, you'll give me a release. You'll sign a release. He said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. No problem. He didn't do it right away. He didn't do it. It took months. Months went by. Contacted him again. I think this was back at some point in the 90s. Because I did think maybe I'll go back and, do some shit if I can get away from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he did eventually give me that release. He signed a release. I'm no longer obligated to Wild Pitch Records, whatever the fuck it said. I was like, all right, great. So that's how I got off of them.
Dope. And lastly, what's in the future for Rob G?
So right now, well, in 2002, I got a random text message from the one and only Chuck D.
Shout out to the icon.
The icon Chuck D. Chuck, what the hell you want, man? What's this? So Chuck said, yo, look, I got, he got this label, Spit Slam. He got this producer, this kid, David Snyder, aka C-Doc. And Doc got some pretty good production. He want us to meet up, see if we want to work on some music together. All right, cool. So I meet them. No, that's not how it happened. Doc sent me the music. Shit was kind of dope. I was like, okay. So I went to the studio, I recorded a couple of songs. Everybody was kind of, feeling it. It was like, all right, yeah, man, let's finish up. Let's do an album. So we did an album. We shot a, kind of a video for, a little medley of the songs. I think it was my responsibility to go ahead and pick a song and make a video, but this was during the pandemic. So that didn't really happen.
Right.
I didn't pick a song and do a video, but we did put the album out, probably sold 40, 50 copies. No, I'm playing. We sold a few copies. We sold a few copies of the album. And right now I'm working on a new project.
That's,
you know what I mean?
Dope. I, for one, we speak all the time. I would love to hear more music from you, and hopefully at some point me and you in the future could get together and maybe work on something that maybe would be dope. I have nothing but the utmost respect for your lyrical ability and your journey.
I appreciate you, Kenny. I mean, I remember seeing you over the years, man. We always talk. Everything always been cool, man. You one of them dudes, you know what I mean?
Appreciate
Because I
that.
know you understand the game. You know what I mean? And you're watching from the background, but I know you know what's going on. So
Yes.
yeah,
And
man.
I had a nice seat. You know,
Right.
being the man next to the man,
Right.
you get to be invisible, but you get to see everything.
Exactly.
And that's why
Exactly.
I like to. I'm giving out as much as I can, but we're still looking in the future. So we'll talk about that stuff later. Do you have any social media or anything people could contact you?
I mean, y'all can reach out to me I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X, Twitter, whatever the fuck.
As Chill Rob G.
Chill Rob G. Type it in. I'll at your boy. I'm out here.
Dope. We're gonna cut it at that. Yo, once again, I really appreciate me and you need to talk a little later in the week. I have some ideas.
Okay.
But we're gonna cut it here. This conversation. This has been really, really dope, and you've been very informative to the people. We got a ton of comments here that I haven't even got a chance to look at. I'm gonna look at some when we get off. Shout out to JT. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the comments when we get off, and I really appreciate you, dog. This is the DJ Kenny Parker Show. We'll be back again next week, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are signing off. Peace, y'all.
2 fingers.